We've been strong for so long, now it's time to rise. No more dimming our light, let it shine so bright. Breaking chains, breaking downs, we reclaim our crown. Standing tall, heroes rolling, ain't backing down. We are queens.
Hey! Hi, Facebook family. Hi, YouTube family. Welcome back to the S.I.T podcast. I am your host, Sabrina.
And
I am so glad to be back. My partner here, Michelle, is with me today.
Yay. I just want to shout out to my hubby who's watching, along with mommy and the rest of our family and friends.
Yes.
We have some wonderful guests, but before we get started, just wanted to mention that today, September 15th through October 15th, is Hispanic Month. So I just want to give a shout out to that. And also Sabrina celebrated her birthday, and her mom celebrated her 97th birthday. So I just want to give a hand clap to that.
Amazing. This was an incredible weekend. We had a birthday party, and it was just magical.
It was.
If I could stand that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was just
and
beautiful.
You look stunning.
Oh, I thank you. So
Yes.
did you.
Yes, thank you. We had a good
So
time.
did you. So tonight we have an amazing show. We are doing part 2 of For Better or Worse. We have some amazing couples in the building with us. And of course, you know, we have the illustrious Natasha, our licensed clinical psychotherapist, who's on tap with us tonight. But we have we have Danny and Rodney Jackson. They are back.
Yes.
Oh my God, with some amazing conversation. But we have a new couple joining us, Michelle, today.
Yes, our new couple is Robert and Janine.
Woo!
The Grahams, right?
We have the Grahams on tap with us tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to get your pens. I need you to get your pads. I need you to take notes, because tonight is not only going to be fun, but there's going to be some lessons and some gems drop tonight, so we can learn how to be in relationships, sustain relationships, even when it gets bad. So, without further ado, I'm going to say hi to our couples. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, we have Danny and Rodney down the bottom. Hi, Danny and Rodney.
What's up, Sabrina?
How are
Michelle,
you, Jax?
Family up there, couples.
I love this session. And then up top, as you know, there's Natasha and her husband, Sean, the McCartneys. Hey,
Hello.
Sean.
What's up, McCartney's?
Welcome back,
How
Sean.
y'all doing?
And then we have our new couples on tap. We have Janine and Robert. Hey, Gramsies.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Good to see everyone.
Hello, the Graham family.
The Graham family. Yes. So as you know, couples, we are going to talk tonight about relationships, for better or for worse. And who better to tell us about that other than you guys? I mean, you've been in it. You've been in the thick of it. We'll hear a story about how you almost gave up on it, but you didn't. And so we need to learn what you know so we can apply some of those rules and tools. But before we get started, I received a letter from one of our listeners. Yes.
Wow, okay.
And
I wonder what the letter says.
I don't know, but I know one thing. I'm going to get my couples to help me out on this one.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
This is a really interesting letter.
Okay, I didn't hear the letter, guys, so I can't wait to hear it. And keep sending in the letters to sitpodcast1@gmail.com.
That's right.
And if you want to call us,
732-902-1252. That's an easy number, right?
That's easy, yes. Because we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for ideas. We're waiting for our dating show next week. I'm excited. The Golden Connect. We want to keep that going, so we need more contestants. So please give us a call or email us.
Yes, next week is the dating show. Ooh. Exciting. Hey, May. Hey, Sean. Hey, Facebook family, YouTube family. Welcome back, guys. And if you're back, that means you like what you're watching. So do me a favor and share, click, and subscribe. We love having you on board. Yay. So here's our letter from Confused But Caring. Are you with me, couples?
Yes.
Whew. It says, Dear Sid podcast team, I often hear people say you have to really like each other or you should be friends first when it comes to dating in a relationship. I'm currently dating someone and I notice something that troubles me. Sometimes when he looks at me, I feel like he has a look of disdain in his eyes. Ooh, that's deep. When I ask him about it, he brushes it off and says I'm exaggerating. I try to shrug it off, but the truth is it bothers me deeply. I find myself questioning whether I'm imagining it or whether there's something underneath that he doesn't want to admit. What should I do?
So I would first of all say, yes, you guys have to be friends. I think that's a good couple when you're
Right.
friends. But I guess we're going to turn it to you so you can ask the couples what they
Right,
think.
right.
I mean,
So,
I don't know. That's kind of
I
like,
think with anything, it's important to have a friendship, right? To start out with the friendship. But this part about the look of disdain, for me, it would worry me. What's underneath that look? And I think that most of us have an instinct, right? We can tell when something is wrong. I think whatever they should do not disregard what they're feeling. They have to explore it and dig a little deeper. Because the one thing you don't want to do is move further into the relationship and what you thought was really bad is really bad. So don't disregard how you feel.
well, it sounds like they need to communicate. Because what if it's just a temporary moment situation, or is it
be.
an ongoing thing?
Could be.
Like it's definitely a conversations that needs to be had, but we're gonna get some input from our couples.
So we're going to start out with Danny and Rodney. Tell me what you think, Danny and Rodney. If she said she saw a look of disdain in his eyes, and when she asked him about it, he just kind of brushed it off and said she was exaggerating. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think communication is a big key. And sometimes words don't always say it, but also the way that you look at each other. So it's not something that should be ignored, but honest and open communication from him, because she did feel a certain way. So he needs to respond honestly, because like you said, it could be something deeper. And so she would want to know that before the relationship
I agree.
continues.
And I'll just jump in it and compliment my wife
Aww.
and just say that you can't dismiss someone's concerns.
Right.
Because if you do, then you're dismissing the whole person, and that just adds to other things.
That's
so whether his look is real or not is really not the issue. Is making sure that it doesn't develop into other things, which is now she's concerned about, is this the right way to go? You know what I mean? And so she needs to deal with it head on, because if she doesn't and she ignores it, as you mentioned earlier, then what else is she going to ignore?
That's right.
And it just goes further and further, and we take a little molehill that could have been handled, and now it's a mountain that's blocking them. So I would say address it.
Address it. Okay. And Danny and Rodney, remind the audience, how long have you guys been married?
What?
Yes, I need them to know. Because when we're talking to some subject matter experts here.
Yes.
On relation-
38 years, 11 months,
Got to
in
be
about
more
a couple
careful.
days.
That's how old I am.
Down to the precise.
That's how old I am.
Yes.
Okay.
So we just say 39.
Oh, nice. I
Nice,
love
nice.
that. I love that. All right, we're going to throw this question to Janine and Graham. Janine and Graham, what do you think about this listener? What do you think? Their
Well,
partner's looking at
I
them with
agree.
disdain.
Yeah, I agree with Danny and Rodney as well. They need to address it, and the sooner the better, because the longer that they let it go on, it's going to be stressful for her, and she'll keep thinking about it, and that will add more stress to their marriage. And it could be, like they said, something small, right? That's going on. It could be whatever it is, but they need to be able to communicate and open up with each other. So I agree. The sooner they do it, the better. Honey.
Well, Sabrina, in that letter, did she indicate? I'm assuming there was a friend. Are they married? They're not married,
They're
right?
They're
dating.
dating.
It's a new relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
So, from my understanding, that sounds like something more internal, right? With her thinking about perhaps his looks or something that makes her think that he may be looking at her in a disdain type of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand where that may be coming from, right? First,
Mm-hmm.
because people look at people differently, right? He may
Yeah.
be looking at something else, so she may be internalizing that totally different.
Right.
So
Right.
her addressing it with the questions that she asked him is important. Now if he answer that question and say, "Well, I'm not looking at you in that way," or "I hope you don't feel that way," then if she brings that up again, then there might be something more along the line that she may need to
Right.
resolve.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
you never
Might
know.
be her perception of what's really
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So I think this letter does need a little bit more context in order to really delve a little bit deeper. Janine and Graham, remind us how long you guys have been married.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna
We've
ask that
been
question.
married 11 and a half years.
Ooh, all right,
nice.
all right, all
And
right.
this is actually our second marriage. We were both
Oh,
married.
that's
Oh,
gonna be a
that's a
good
good
one.
one.
Yes.
Second time's the charm.
Yes.
Yes, because you really into it because you got two different perspectives.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Poogie. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Monique. Hi, Layla. Welcome to the SIT Podcast Facebook and YouTube family. We are so happy you are joining us. We're going to throw the question over to Natasha and Sean.
And Natasha and Sean, remind the audience too how long you guys been together.
28 years.
28.
We've been married,
Ooh.
but we've been together 34.
Wow.
Yeah, 33. 33.
33,
Almost
good.
Almost 34, yeah.
All right,
Oh, wait,
perfect.
maybe 34 is this around this time. Because we
Yes.
met in college in August, so it actually is 34.
Yes.
You're right, yes.
Okay.
yes.
Wow,
Okay.
nice. Good,
Yeah.
some good stuff.
Yes.
So what do you guys think about the listeners' letter?
I'll let Sean go and I'll give the therapeutic perspective because I got well, no, really, because I actually got a response that covered
Everybody.
Rodney and Danny
Okay.
and Janine and Graham's
Okay.
response all in one. Because I think the response I got is very relevant to all. It can capture their discussion in
Yeah,
one. So
I like that.
think, honey.
Right. I mean, you guys did me a favor. This is really easy for me. I'm just gonna basically piggyback off both couples. I mean, men are super simple. I think it's safe to say most men are super simple. If the female or the writer or of the letter, if she's sensing something that's off to her, the best thing she could do is just address it. And
Yeah.
most men will, they'll tell you what's going on. And it may not be, it may just be nothing with him. And it could just be a simple thing of a communication thing, like these guys said, and it could be solved and you guys could move on. But the key is the communication and just go from there.
Yeah.
Right,
Tosh?
right. Well, I would start by applauding her for trusting her instincts, right? Because when you trust your instincts, it's your warning sign that you should probably be doing something. But the to combine all of what I'm thinking about the questions is opening the discussion for a deeper conversation. And I think Rodney said it best. The issue is not focusing on the look. The issue is really focusing on what the experience is between the two.
Right.
And so that open and clear communication, we've talked about this and we continue to talk about it just through all of the topics that we have because you could never over communicate. Lots of things happen due to miscommunication. So an example of how you can communicate what she may be thinking or feeling to get a more open response, because they part of the letter she said he generally brushes this off and say I'm exaggerating, could be the way she's asking the question. So example of it could be, when I sense that expression that you're doing right now, I feel hurt and
Right, in the
disconnected from you.
moment,
Can we
yeah.
talk
Right.
in the moment? Can we talk a little bit about what's happening here?
Right.
Because there could be something happening for him. He could be having his own thought that have nothing to do with her, or maybe it does have something to do with her. But I think if she catch him in the moment,
Right, that's
you
the key.
you know, and he can speak about his feelings in that moment, that leads to that open and deeper conversation, which then leads into the topic that we're discussing about looking for commitment, connection, and conviction, right?
Right.
So now we're talking about what's happening now with us, and not your look make me feel a certain way, but what is actually happening and what we're experiencing as a couple.
Right.
So
And
Yeah,
he could
and
be
just to
just
jump on
upset
that-
because the his football team lost.
Yeah, and just to jump on that,
Sis, that was
is she
good,
talking to
yeah.
him or she's talking to the guy before him?
Right.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
We
Bring
do it all the
stuff
time.
into
too.
Would that the other
relationship,
way the other
right,
guy
that you
look
had
at her?
previously.
Yes.
So I'm just saying there's a
But
lot
I-
of ways to look at it.
Yeah, but I think Graham brought up that point, right? Sometimes there
Right.
might be something going on with you.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, and the Grahams really know
and-
that because
yeah.
they're not bringing nothing from their old relationship.
Hello. Hello. Leave that in the past.
And Natasha, you hit on it because I had to learn that from my old marriage. So this one is how you ask the question, right? Because by the way I ask it, it may cause him to shut down and not want to respond. So it's timing and how you ask it. So you're absolutely correct. I had to learn that.
You know,
And just for the record, behind Rodney, it could be not just the past relationship with a romantic partner, but family stuff. 'Cause,
Family.
you know,
Yes.
in my practice, when I start where everybody comes, so everybody come with, oh, this is a relationship issue, and by the time we dig deep, we could be talking about relationships with your siblings, relationship with your mom,
Yes,
your dad,
absolutely.
your auntie. So I just didn't want to lose that out as well, because sometimes our foundations are formed so much when we're young, and then we bring all of that into our
Yep.
relationship.
Yep.
So I just figure I'll just give the audience that something to think about as well if they're facing issues
That's an
like
excellent
this.
point.
that is an excellent point. That's because you bring in the fear, you bring in the mistrust, and it is definitely not conducive for the relationship you're trying to have. So I like that. I like that. But you know what? You guys talked about a lot of good things, and I want to bring up, is it true? And we're going to dig a little bit deep on this. I love it. Commitment, communication, and conviction creates connection, which is what we need to solidify a relationship. And it's not always pretty and pink. It's not always pretty and wrapped up in a bow. But do you think those things make for a good relationship? Rodney, what do you think?
If we don't start with the end in mind, then we're not going to see the future. So if you have the back door open in the relationship in the beginning and you're looking for an exit ramp of when I'm going to get off, then you're always going to be using that as an option. But if you throw that key away to the back door and all you have is me and the person, we're going to work it out.
Me and you.
That's good.
And we're not always going to be happy. So we can just throw that out. Because that's really not, if you walk around giddy and happy all the time, come on now.
Right. That's
We
so
all got our
realistic.
moments, and we're going to have our moments in marriage. And that's why you need your partner with you. Because when you're in the valley, your partner is there to bring you up. You know, two are better than one. One falls, the other one picks the other person up. So that's going to happen. But if you are 100% convicted and committed first, you open yourself up for solving any problem that comes your way. But if that's not there, no matter how good your communication is, it's going to fade eventually. You know what I mean? So you can work on your communication, but you need to fix the front door and close it, lock it, throw the key away and say, death do me part. I'm going to die with this person. I'm going to ride with this person.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
with this person is going to get ugly. It's going to be beautiful and everything in between. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be my queen. I just had to throw that in there. I'm just saying. That's a little rhyme. I'm just
know
saying.
what? The
That just
last
came out of
time,
my
Kenny,
head.
he
But,
was
you know, it
bringing
just
all
was
of
flowing.
this charm.
But,
He was an Amazon guy.
He was
But-
mine.
yeah, that was.
But no divorce word. You don't want to
Yeah.
use the D.
No.
D
Wow,
word.
because there's really the only thing a person should ever even consider divorce is because of infidelity. And that's if the person can't forgive the person for it.
Right.
Wow. Okay,
And the
I
person
see.
hasn't
Maybe-
worked toward forgiveness too,
Yes.
right? Because they keep repeating it, then they don't
they not
deserve
really
to be
so-
forgiven.
Right.
But other than that, everything, like I hear people say irreconcilable differences. You're just not committed and convicted to solve your problem.
There's one of those elements missing.
Yeah, you just want an exit ramp. And instead of saying, hey, what do I need to fix in me? Because if you want to know my story, I came with nothing, as we said the last time, to the marriage. How can a person come broken with nothing and last 39 39 years. It's because I worked on myself and I worked with my wife because I was committed and convicted. And all my parents were both divorced. So it wasn't like I inherited anything that was far as commitment. But it takes any donkey to burn a barn, but it takes a skilled carpenter to build a barn. So you got to ask yourself, where I'm a burner or a builder, and all of us can learn how to build.
Yep, yep. I love it. I love it. Graham, Janine, commitment, communication, conviction equals connection. How do you guys navigate those three things to keep the connection? Because you two are lovebirds too. If I hear Graham talk about her one more time, stop calling me about her.
Serena, when I think about the connection, just to piggyback what you said, in communication, that's key, right? Keep in mind, me and my wife, we used to ride in together for 12 years continuously, right? Going into work, coming home together. In COVID, we worked in the same home, different parts of the home, but we always communicate with each other. Even when we disagree and we have those arguments in those times, we never sleep in different rooms, right? I don't sleep in a separate room and things of that nature. We never throw out into our marriage, oh, we fighting, so we must going to get a divorce, because to me, that's what children do, right? Children talk those type of games and whatnot. When you're talking about leaving the back door open, right? Our connection comes involved in a lot of ways, right? Me and my wife ride motorcycles. She ride, I ride, right? We go to the range together. So, we do a lot of different things together. We complement each other. One of the things we like to do, we like to dance when we go out to a party. We don't say, we say if our clothes are not wet and sweaty while we leaving that event, then, perhaps we didn't have a great time. And that's what we had on Saturday. We dance. We don't care about other folks and what other folks are doing. We go out to have a great time. And that's how our communication, our connection is between us two. Right?
I love
So
it.
you talk about best friend. This is my best friend, to tell you the truth. I have associates, but, this is my best friend.
That's beautiful.
You want to opine on anything?
Absolutely.
She over here blushing. Look, after 11 years, she blushing. I know that's right. I love it. I love it. Tasha, Sean, if you
That's how
took
you
away
supposed
any
to
one of
do it.
these, commitment, communication, conviction, could you still create a connection in a relationship, or does those elements need to be there?
They absolutely do. I'll let you go first, honey.
Yeah. Well, Graham and Janine, I saw y'all dancing, burning the floor.
They burnt the floor Friday night.
Yes. I'm never gonna say that, but yeah.
So that
Yes.
definitely is true. So it's these are simple. These are simple things you learn throughout life as you are growing up. I try to talk and teach from whenever people want to listen to me that I don't I people are who are going to be natural genius, they're born with that. Everyone goes to school to gain knowledge, and in going to school and going through that educational process, no matter where you stop and where you begin or where you ended, you learn other social elements of life, and you learn how to communicate, be convicted, so you can be even just connected to yourself.
That's right.
So I don't think any one of these things could be lagging or lacking when you come into a relationship. And if with Rodney being fully transparent, he talked about he came in a relationship with nothing. I don't know if that's true. I think you just had a lot of dust on you, Rodney. Right? But,
No, it's true.
that's what I
Danny
call
said
it.
it's
Dust
true.
on you.
Facts.
Well, Danny,
He
you
was
got
minus
that was
nothing.
that was your assignment to help him clean that dust off for him, because I work with
That was
people
commitment.
and
That's
polish them up.
commitment. That's right. And
Right,
conviction,
exactly.
right?
He was
Absolutely.
already a diamond.
That's right, because I work with people, and unfortunately, I see when people don't have these elements, and then they have problems across all of their relationships, not just their romantic relationships. So that was the long story to yes, you must have this, know it, understand it, and want it. And
Right.
even when you're a little dusty and willing to be polished off to see it and experience it, you can move forward to have those connections across all relationships. And ultimately, the prize that most people do want, we focus a lot on romantic relationships because that's what people do want. But when you have it across all relationships, you are leading yourself to be better in your romantic relationship.
Yep.
So
I love
Right.
that. And and so you guys talked about a lot about commitment and what it takes, right? And I know the audience is listening, and I love it. Thank you. Hi, Tori. Um, but what I want the audience to know, right? It is not, and I say it all the time, a relationship is not tied up in this pink bow. I used to say it all the time. I used to think Prince Charming was coming in on a white horse and scoop me up, but we know that's not reality. And so when you talk about commitment, Danny, it's not just staying together, but showing up every day intentionally, right? How do you do that when things are like really ugly? When you are crying, snot coming out your nose and eyes, bawling. How do you stay intentional? Like, what is it you need to do to just kind of say, I don't care, I'm attached and I ain't going nowhere. Even though he get on my nerves and I want to sock him in his eyeball.
You get on my nerves, honey?
Sometimes intentionally. No.
Intentionally or unintentionally.
Well, I think having a relationship with God
Yes.
is key, paramount. So that relationship is the most important relationship to me and that's what I love about him, because he loves God more than he loves me.
Yes.
And so if that's the case, then that means that he's going to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated.
Yeah.
So I have that same commitment and conviction. So when I'm feeling a certain way, then I look to my heavenly Father. But he already knows how I feel because we're connected. So he feels what I feel and he knows how I'm feeling. So he's there to pick me up. And when he's down, I already know that. He doesn't have to say it, but communication, like I said, is not just words, but it's the way he looks or the way he's moving that day or whatever. So that's my commitment to him, to make him better. And his commitment to me is to make me better.
Now,
So-
Danny, was that always the case though? Like in the beginning, I'm sure if he was feeling a certain type of way, you didn't feel it. So what was it that brought you guys to that? Because you're obviously going down a path together, right? 'Cause you're
Right.
married, you're in this committed relationship, before God. But when was it, or what was it, or what was the pivotal moment that you knew you guys were connected?
Well, when we wanted to stay together. So when we were going to separate, we know we needed help. We knew that we needed help.
I love that.
So it was looking to God and the Bible that helped us to recognize that I need more direction. And it's not the examples that I see around me, but it's somebody that put the marriage arrangement together. And so once we recognized that, I recognized that it wasn't him, it was me. So I had to keep looking in the mirror. And so it wasn't what is he doing wrong, it's no, what do I need to fix? And then he had to do the same thing. But even if he didn't, I continued to look in the mirror and kept seeing what I needed to fix, because sometimes people feel like marriage is 50-50, but I don't believe that. I believe marriage is 100-100. So, or I'm going to be 100. You can be whatever you want to be.
Right.
But it's
You
not
gonna show up,
50-50.
right.
I have to give my all, my 150%. And so that's what's going to help you when you're down, is because I'm giving all of me. No matter what you give to me, I'm giving
I love
all
that.
of it.
That is
That's
unconditional.
beautiful.
Ladies and
And-
gentlemen, you just got an
Yes.
example of unconditional love.
And
That
what I'll
godly
just-
love.
When we were in that moment, when things were real bad, and we didn't have the skills yet to be able to do the things that we're talking about today, we had to be patient and let the process take us to where we're at. And I think that so many people, they quit before it gets good.
Oh, that's good.
And you have to kind of go through that. And it's not like anything we're going to say tonight is going to make your relationship better instantly. It's like you get a little motivation, but it takes time to fix what's in the inside.
Yeah.
We're dealing with what's in the inside of all of us.
Yeah.
And it just needs to be corrected. And it takes time for it to manifest. It may take 2 or 3 years, but it'll happen if you stick to the process
Yes.
of self-reflection
I think that's key.
and course correction.
Wow.
Self-reflection
Wait a minute.
and
Oh, I gotta
course
write that
correction.
down.
Self-reflection.
So-
Self-reflection. I'll write it down.
I
If I
hope
see
you
her
guys are
sad-
taking notes. Self-reflection and course correction.
Yes.
So it took time for me to get to that point to be mature enough, like it was said earlier, to be able to start working on myself
Right.
and start seeing the results of that. Like if you work out, you're not going to see anything instantly.
Right,
It
right.
takes years of working out to
Building
really
those
see
muscles.
it manifest itself in the public's eye. So it took years for us, maybe 10 years, when we really started seeing the fruits of our labor. But it was getting better all the time. But to really get to that point where we were like clicking, it took years.
I always say it takes time to bake the cake.
Yes, you do.
I love that. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, because everybody seems to be so busy nowadays, what are some things for all the couples that what's your go-to, like a way to reconnect when life just gets busy? Like, what is it that you do that you make sure, that you reconnect? Who wants to go?
Well,
So what do they do?
Go ahead.
They
Go
dance.
ahead, Janine and Graham.
now I think for us, we like to take vacations.
Vacation.
And for vacations for us may be different because we can go to an island. We'll get up at 6 in the morning and we'll lay out on the beach until 10 at night. We don't have to go touring. We don't have to do anything. We'll sit there, we'll eat, we drink, we wake up, we laugh, we joke, we fall asleep. For us, that's relaxing. And that helps us to reconnect, to talk about what's going on in our lives together and separately, and really to get focused. And I think for us, that's what works for us, as well as every night. We have a little dog and he's in there moaning for us to come in there. But we'll get together and we'll sit on the couch, we'll watch TV, we'll talk about our day and just wind down. And I think for us, or at least for me, and you can speak too, babe, that really helps us to reconnect and to refocus on our marriage, our relationship, and what our plans are moving forward.
Y'all really like each other, huh?
We do. You know what? I really like him.
She got me,
He's serious.
she got me watching Ready to Love and all these popular.
Oh, I love that. Ready to love. Yes.
But we
yes.
sacrificed too. And,
Yeah.
and we really had to, because as I mentioned, we were married previously. And we had to learn and grow from that. And then coming into this marriage, we knew what we wanted. And we met each other where we were. We talked about our past, and then we started working on ourselves and growing together. So I think we really met each other at a good time in our lives, and we're continuing to build. And like you said, you have to like each other.
Yeah.
Because we were tied up during COVID and sitting in the house.
Ooh.
You know, that was rough, right? A lot of people didn't survive it. But
Yeah.
we knew going in, we were not getting divorced again. This was it.
Oh.
This is our forever. This is my person. And we were going to make it work through thick and thin. And it's not all roses, right? We're going to have our challenges. We're going to go through things. We pray together. You know, we do things together and we make sacrifices.
Yeah.
I wanted to ride motorcycles. I said, you know what? I ain't going to let my husband go out there by himself. So I'm going to get me a 3-wheel and I'm going to be right behind him.
And
or
Janine,
in
you be
front
riding
of
that pretty bike
Right.
too. She sends pictures.
So
It's
it's
so
just
cute.
doing that,
Right.
doing things together and making sacrifices. Yeah.
Right. And I love that list that you guys gave that you constantly participate with each other. That's wonderful. Okay.
Tasha and Sean, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
In relationships, we always talk about how pivotal communication is to a relationship, right? Any relationship. I don't care whether it's spouse, kids, whomever. It's important. My question is, how do you when things are so nasty, so ugly, and you know you need to communicate how you feel, but you just can't because you want to throw a soapbox at his head or something, I don't know. How do you communicate when you are so upset to get through the rough times?
Well, let me say one thing before we answer your question. You and Michelle are phenomenal. You have picked the three greatest couples in the world, and we got to go on tour. We
You
got to
got
talk about this. Because let me tell you, first of all, I'm not your favorite.
And I thank you, especially for your transparency. I love it. Thank you.
No, really, because as I'm a married woman and I have to work on my own relationship, but in my career, I'm a family therapist by trade, so I get a lot of couples.
Yep.
And the stuff that we are saying, you guys will be surprised how many people don't understand the importance of this. Is simplicity. Just what Janine and talked about with her and Graham, except the motorcycle riding, Janine, because this one is a daredevil. He rides the motorcycle too, but while he was riding, I was reading my books at home. That was our individual time because I was not getting on the bike with him. So I say that to be honest. But like vacation, winding down at the end of the night, me and him was just laughing this morning about how I got him hooked on soap operas like All My Children and One Life to Live. That's how far we go back. Which is, y'all know that time. We all go back that far. He was like, I can't believe you was watching. I said, yeah. Remember, we got happy when they had the nighttime soap opera channel. We running home from work to watch it together. And so I just wanted.
I knew I was in love.
Right. And I just wanted to say that because I want people to know what we're saying is key.
Yes.
And it sounds simple and they're like, oh, that sounds like the fairy tale, but that is the fairy tale. Because
Right.
even what Rodney and Danielle is saying, loving God and working on yourself first. So to answer your question, I can't get mad at him. I'm mad inside, but when I look at him, I laugh, right?
Aw.
Because I love him so much and I like him. But what I do, you got to look at yourself. You got to understand,
That's right.
why am I angry? If you can't figure that out, you can't have the conversation because it's generally not about the other person. And all of us up here talk about God and putting God first. But in my studies, because of the work I do, I've studied other religions. And one of the principles that come probably across all religions, but highlighting the Buddhist religion, is that if you are triggered by something or if something is bothering you, Danny said it best. You have to look in the mirror because that is about you and not the other person.
That's right.
Before you can communicate it. So I think that is key to what happened with Sean and I. And I'll just say one more thing and then he can jump in. But I think there was a question that we had been talking about, like, how did you learn how to set boundaries and expectations for communication early on? That is key because those are the things that get you through the tough conversation. In all of the years we've been together, we've never called each other out of name. I scream more at him, but I think he just give me a pass because I'm a woman. Because he know I scream with passion. I don't scream with disrespect.
Right.
And then he'll tell me if it's too much, Tasha, please tone down. You talking too loud. That's what he'll tell me. I'm like, okay, but this is what I'm saying. So, we've learned over setting those boundaries and communicating over different topics, how to give our partner the space to express themselves, even if it's a little bit, it causes a little bit of tension, because we know that you're expressing yourself for the common goal, for us to get someplace. You're not expressing yourself to attack me, to minimize me, to disrespect me. You're trying to speak your feelings, and everyone's feelings are valid. And sometimes it don't always come out in the best way, but over the years with the practice and the ups and downs and being on the mountain and then being in the valley, you learn how your partner needs to communicate for y'all to communicate through those uncomfortable topics.
That's right.
Right.
Let me show you.
Yeah, I want to have some fun.
But before,
She
wait,
gets so
before you,
serious. I know,
because
okay.
you know what,
Okay,
you
this
know
is a
what.
serious
So
topic.
Tasha, you said something really critical. Danny said something really critical. Danny said she didn't see a lot of examples, or she didn't see an example to know how to navigate through this, right? And so Tasha said we did a good thing by bringing these couples together. We did it because we want the folks out there to see that it is, number one, possible to have a sustainable marriage. Number two, it's not going to be perfect. It may get ugly sometimes. Number three, do not give up. And I'm not saying barring anybody beating you up or abusing
Right.
you mentally or physically. I'm not saying that get out.
Right.
But I'm saying that you will go through some hard times. It is not going to be pretty. There will be some tears maybe, but there's certainly going to be some laughters. And if we can figure out the single folks or the ones newly in these relationships, how to put God first, make him the center of your relationship, and navigate through the muddy waters, there is possibly a fairy tale at the end of it, because we're witnessing it with our couples here. So thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Janine and Graham. All right, go ahead.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do it.
Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
So this is all just for laughs. What you're gonna do is, when I have 4 questions, there's only 4. You're gonna point to the person who it refers to the most. If it's you, you go you. If it's the person, you go the person. Okay,
Okay.
y'all ready? Y'all do it all together simultaneously, and then we just gonna look at y'all. Y'all ready? Okay. All right. The first one. Who snores louder? Okay. All right. Okay, so everybody is in agreement. Okay, all right. Y'all ready for the next one? Who is more adventurous and who is more cautious? Wait a minute. So if you're adventurous, who's adventurous? Okay, more
That's a
adventurous.
tricky
Okay.
question.
And then who is more cautious? I guess the other person. Okay, okay, that makes sense. All right.
I'm bold.
Now, who is usually the one that says "I'm sorry" first after an argument? Okay. Okay.
I'm taking all of that.
Janine and Graham's like,
I'm taking all of that.
Me too, Rodney.
Okay, what you mean, Rodney, you think it's Graham,
I'm
Janine?
sorry before you.
Yes, I don't know.
Robert.
Okay, okay. And the last one, drum roll. Who spends more money when they shop? Who's spending all the money?
Oh,
Well, it
without
depends
a
on
doubt.
what. If you're shopping for food,
Janine, I seen your closet.
If you're shopping and taking something back, that's her.
I'll take something back and buy something even more expensive.
That is
I
funny.
got a problem shopping.
That was a good one. That is knowing your person.
New person. Okay, now this is more like a serious question for everybody. What's one myth about marriage that you've learned is just not true?
Go ahead, Rodney.
That you gotta find a person who makes you happy. That's so untrue. And I'll just say that if you think about the 9 happiness in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, none of them have to do with finding a partner. None of them. And I think that's a big myth, that you have to be happy in marriage. You have to be successful, and success leads to happiness. Because you're not successful, if you're not good at it, you won't be happy. You'll be physically happy, you'll be circumstantially happy, but success and happiness are like kinfolk. When you become successful at something, you become joyful at it, right? So if we work on our spiritual person, that's why Jesus said, happy are those conscious of their spiritual needs. He didn't say happy are those find a happy person and get married. No. And matter of fact, if you look in the scriptures, 31,183 verses, has nothing to do with saying happiness is marriage. That's another myth. Happy is being successful with God, and then, success with God, and then happiness follows. You'll find a person who's successful with God and be happy. Those things follow. It's like cause and effect. If I think right, I do right, I'll be happy, right? That's the cause. The results is happiness, not happiness and then the cause. Happiness is not the cause. It's a result of doing certain things. And when people have that myth, then they blame the person or they blame marriage instead of doing what was said earlier, looking in the mirror and say, maybe I need to rewrite my book, my idea about marriage, like strip off all of that and start with facts. Facts is that be the right person, get the right results, you'll be happy.
Okay.
Love it, love it, love it.
Anybody else want to share a myth that you learned that's not true in marriage to make it successful? If you want to pass, you can say pass. I have one more question.
No, I want Jean and Graham. Oh, I'll go.
I think people go into marriage watching soap operas and not even like
And
like
reading
that.
and romance novels.
That's the biggest myth, right? They think every day's
Mhm.
gonna be perfect, and when things go bad, they're gonna go out and find a new husband, a new wife,
Oh
and
wow.
have several of them.
Exactly.
That's just all a myth, right?
Exactly.
You can't go into a
Exactly.
marriage with that concept. You got to go into marriage believing believing and have some faith, right? Believing in
Right.
God and believing that hey, we can work through this. But knowing that it's never going to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage, right?
Right.
Right.
But I heard people say, well, we never argue. Then obviously there's two people that's not in love with each other. There's two
Well,
people
Right.
that's actually talking to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all talking, not with each other.
right, right. Well, I was thinking, I was like, wow, what's the myth? So I got a good one. The myth is that like the romance or intimacy, even like bedroom intimacy, die. I think that's a myth because when you are committed and you like your partner and you're in love,
Tasha, stop
it's
telling your
not that.
business. Real.
I mean, it's true.
People do talk about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I've
No,
heard
right.
people say, "Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to be married because I'm gonna lose that. It's gonna get
Right.
boring." Look, I've never had a boring day with this guy, so I don't know.
I love it.
All right, then.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so I said I had 4 fun questions, then I went into a little serious question, and then my last question. Let's bring us back.
No, good. I love it.
love it.
Is there anything that you want to share with others that can possibly help other couples? Like one thing that you think would really help other
Especially the
couples
ones that
you
may be
learned?
on the verge of
Yeah,
giving up.
maybe giving up. Like what advice would you give them? We can all go around. You all could share like one thing that you think that okay, I got it. This is
Tasha,
really
you
gonna
go.
help
You
somebody.
go first, and then we'll do Janine and Graham, and then we'll end up with Danny and
Danny
Rodney.
and Rodney. Well, I'm just gonna say that my answer will probably piggyback off of Danielle and Rodney because we they speak about God a lot. So you got to lean on God. But what I will say after that, because I'll let them talk about that because they're a little bit more expert with that than me. We're still growing in our spirituality over here. Is that you have to be willing to be curious, right? Be curious because I do believe that most people start out with good intent or positive intention because we all know, like, even when we choose the flavor of ice cream, right? We know what flavor we like, we know what we don't like. The problem is that when we get into relationships, we don't know what we don't know. And when you get
Right.
involved with people, it kicks up a lot of those unknowns.
Right.
So I think I was going to answer one of those other questions back about, oh, how do we communicate when things get rough? Through curiosity. So I hope that people can Rodney speaking about rewriting that book and creating that new book. Add the word curiosity and lean in with positive intent because I knew the one thing when I met Sean that while we had a lot of things in common, we are for everything we have in common, we probably got 2 things that we don't have in
Right.
common. So look at those odds. So I was very curious to get to know him.
Right.
And in that curiosity to get to know him, it bred growth in our relationship. And we both brought things to this relationship that the other one had no idea about. And I'm not talking about physical things, I'm talking about mental things and spiritual things. So I brought curiosity to it. Sean was just talking about before we all got on that the one thing he knew when he knew I was the one is when he felt like he wanted to protect me beyond anything. And protect me from people he was experienced that was coming at me with not good intentions. So I was being curious and he was in protective mode and we was rolling down the street together and it built up to what people are experiencing and seeing with us and even people who are around us day to day. So I think that's the one thing I would bring to the
Thank
table
you.
for a
Good.
new couple.
That was
Janine
good.
and Graham, you want to say the question again?
No. Oh, you want to do you know the question already?
Do it one more
One
time.
thing
Okay, just based
I
on
can think about is not being, I mean, going into the relationship, not bringing your baggage from your past relationship or comparing them to your ex-spouse or ex-boyfriend or girlfriend,
Yeah.
and just going in with an open mind, going in and being open and vulnerable
Yeah.
to each other.
I love
and
that.
and being able to talk and communicate and share your feelings and thoughts and things like that. Because that's what happened a lot of times. You compare your spouse to someone else or another relationship, and then really keeping your relationship within your home
That's a
and
big
not
one.
sharing
100.
what's going on with your relationship with all of your friends or anyone else. And if it comes to a point where you need to talk to someone, go and get counseling, right? Get some help. Go to your church or your pastor and speak to them. But being careful of who you bring into the relationship. And that even goes for family members and your parents as well.
I
100.
agree.
Good
And also,
stuff.
Good.
I think about what you focus on grows. So if you're in a marriage and you're ready to give up, what did you see in that person that you loved about them?
Right.
Focus on that and not focus on the things that get on your nerves, because after a while, that's all that you see in that person. But that's not the person that you saw when you were dating.
Right.
So if you're at the point where you're ready to give up, date your husband, date your wife, like how you were before you got married.
Go back to the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
And focus on the things that you loved about the person,
Right.
and then focus on that.
Yeah,
And then
excellent.
just keep
That's all the
working.
questions I have. You guys were excellent with all your
That
answers.
was-
And
go ahead,
Sabrina,
Graham and I
oh,
didn't get a chance.
Oh,
Graham.
I'm sorry. I thought Danny was speaking for you. I thought she was
Graham,
just representing the
you didn't-
team.
She said Graham. Graham, you want to
Oh,
say
me?
something?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I wanted to, give the respect, and I was going to just polish it up.
Oh,
I think folks should, when you talk about relationships, to be honest with each other, right, and communicate all times. I think a husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, well, husband and wife, because that's what we're speaking of, a marriage concept, right? I should know everything about my wife in regards to everything that she want to share with me, health, everything. There should be no secrets, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell her, when I go to the doctor, I come back, I say, hey, look, this is my doctor report. And I share my doctor report with her. And I say, when you go to the doctor, make sure you ask them about this. And make sure you ask them about that, because what it is, I want to have that open communication.
Yeah.
I want to tell me if there's something going on with her body that I need to be aware of, then I'm able to answer those questions when those medical issues and things come on. I just say honesty, communication is key in a relationship, and people speaking to people. I think that's very important.
Yeah. Love
Great.
that. Love it.
So
Yeah.
I would say everyone had very insightful and truthful, and there's so many keys. It's not just one key, but I would say that who taught you how to be a husband? Who taught you how to be a wife? If you can't answer that, somebody taught you.
Even if it wasn't right.
Yeah, and we're bringing that.
Yes.
So we have to relearn, and you have to be willing to relearn everything. And if you are successful, who's teaching you how to be better? There's levels to everything. And so for me and my wife, it's God. He never stops learning or teaching, so I never stop learning. I'm always, and this is what keeps our relationship vibrant. It's because I'm becoming a better version of myself every day. People say you only live once. You know what I mean? No, you only die once. You live every day. If you make the choice, and the choice is to exercise your free will to become a better version of yourself, and that'll help your marriage out no matter where you're at.
Right.
But just don't keep repeating what got you there, because that will only keep you there worse. But if you get a little better every day, then you'll feel that growth inside, and that'll help you to move forward and see the progress that's ahead of you.
Yeah. I love that. What you say, Michelle?
Excellent.
That's it. That's all.
I love it.
I think we almost out of time. But before we go, I guess we should talk about, we have these lovely couples here, and we want to invite them back on for part 3.
We're gonna have part 3.
So we have a
What?
part 3.
Because
And
it's
then-
Sabrina,
gonna be, it's
stop.
yeah,
Rodney, you coming back part 3 thanks to you,
part 3.
Who's coming with me?
Mrs. Jackson.
Get commitment.
Mrs. Jackson, do we have a commitment for a part 3? Is that a yes or a no?
I'm hiding, Natasha.
Mrs. Jackson. Sorry,
and,
Miss
and then we're
Jackson.
gonna have
Come
the
on,
Grahams
Miss Jackson.
and the
We
McCartneys
would say, I'm
also.
telling you, we need to go on the road.
The community,
yes.
the community needs this.
Yes, yes.
We need this.
this.
I
We
need this.
We need
We
this.
need you.
We need this.
We need these examples. We need to see what a relationship, a marriage looks like, right?
Right.
We want people to know what it looks like.
Right. Okay, but I was just gonna also say too that next week we're gonna have the dating show. So someone mentioned Ready to Love. I love all the dating shows. Pop the Balloon, and that's what inspired us to do the Golden Connect. The couples, we're gonna have 3 ladies and 1 bachelor, and he's gonna present the golden egg to the winner, and then hopefully maybe it works out and they become married, and then they can join our circle.
And they can join the circle.
On the road with us.
Yes, I love it.
But that's all I got.
Well, I'm going to say love is built more than passion. It's built on friendship, trust, and the choice to stay connected. Thank you to my amazing couples. We look forward to having you come back for a part 3. This was very, very helpful and knowledgeable, and I loved every bit of it. And I hope YouTube family and Facebook family got some gems from today, took some notes.
Yes.
But they'll be back with some more. With that being said, we're going to say thank you for joining us and have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good night.
Good night.
We've been strong